Hey guys, today we're going to be practicing some VGC matches. This is my attempt at climbing the ladder, right? This is actually really exciting because not only do we have a ladder this time, but this ladder actually gives you Pokeball ranks. So our goal is Masters, right? So without further ado, we just encountered another opponent from rank 2. Let's check out his team. So Virgo is running a Trick Room team, as am I. So I'm going to have to play a little bit carefully here. Now, the interesting thing is that he's running Indeedee and Hatterene, but he also has Bronzong, so he technically has 3 Pokemon that can set up Trick Room. That being said, since Trick Room looks like an assured aspect that's coming in his team, I'm going to bring Torkoal, mainly because Torkoal has a lot of coverage moves that can easily help me out. I'm going to lead off probably with Dragapult, since it's Scarfed in its U-turn, just to get some damage off and switch into Torkoal, right? And in the meantime, I can have Vileplume and maybe set up a Solar Beam or get some, damage out with Sludge Bomb. Finally, for my last Pokemon, I think I want to go with Grimmsnarl just because it's really good against... I wouldn't go with Grimmsnarl because he has one physical attacker, and Grimmsnarl is really good at sitting screens. I would opt for a Scavalier, except for the fact that his Torkoal threatens mine. So I'm just going to go with Reuniclus, considering that Psychic Surge does a lot. So I'm going to go for Dragapult, Vileplume, Torkoal in the back with the Eject button, and Reuniclus with Life Orb. So my opponent and I are ready, and we're going to go start off this match. So my opponent has a really nice pose, kind of like mine, right? Anyway, so let's see. This is actually my very first time recording any type of VGC content, so I'm really excited for this match. So here you go. Virgo sends out Hatterene and Indeedee. Really nice shiny. Really nice shiny. Let's see, it has the stars. I'm going for Dragapult Wild, right? So the idea here is I want to go for U-turn onto Hatterene and break any potential sash. Not that Hatterene would typically have a sash. And if anything, Indeedee has a sash, right? So I'd probably just go for U-turn there. And then, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to U-turn the Hatterene, and if it gets redirected by Indeedee, then that's fine, because remember, Indeedee has Follow Me, right? And so what I'm also going to do is double up and use Sludge Bomb onto Hatterene. This way, if they redirect, Indeedee will get knocked out, and if they set up Trick Room, my Torkoal can be set up safely. So Indeedee does go for the Follow Me, and like I said, I'm going to go for the U-turn, which does some good damage. I'm definitely taking that, because that's a lot of damage for U-turn, right? Here, I'll be switching into Torkoal because, again, Torkoal has really slow speed. So if Hatterene does decide to set up Trick Room, which is probably what it's going to do, Torkoal will be going first next turn. And if not, then, well, we'll see what happens. And then I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb. So Sludge Bomb should pick up the KO. Yeah, picks up the KO onto Indeedee, which is really good news. And Hatterene sets up Trick Room. Perfect. So now I can use... Earth Power under Trick Room, which is probably going to go first unless he sends out his own Torkoal. Then we would Speed Tide. So here comes the Rhyperior. So here's the interesting thing about Rhyperior. Rhyperior actually has Wide Guard, so he could potentially block he can definitely block my Eruption. So I'm thinking if I Eruption, that means his Rhyperior isn't going to be doing anything in terms of it going for a Wide Guard. So I'm going to go for Eruption for this play. Because again, if Rhyperior does attack me, then that means I get off an Eruption, a really powerful one. I wouldn't expect it to pick up a KO, but definitely it's going to do some damage there. And then with Vileplume, honestly, I think I'm going to switch out Vileplume just because it's really slow. And assuming that... assuming that Hatterene wants to go for Psychic onto my Poison type, I'll just switch into Reuniclus and then take advantage of the Trick Room that's going on. So I'm going for the switch out. Okay. He is Dynmaxing. If he Dynamaxes his Rhyperior... Okay, cool. That means he's not going to go for Eruption. I could have probably just go for Solar Beam and picked up the KO. That would have been a better play. But at the same time, I just want to get out a lot of damage. So what I'm going to do here is Eruption. Let's see how much damage it does. Does a decent amount to Hatterene as expected. Critical hit on Rhyperior. Not going to matter too much since it resists. And as I predicted, the Psychic was going to go onto the Reuniclus, rather the Vileplume slot. I'm going to resist that. Unfortunately, I get the special defense drop, which is kind of bad. And right here, setting up rocks. This could pick up the 1-hit KO onto Torkoal. Yeah, it does. Okay, that's fine. So now he's at the leading position because he has Sand up. And this basically means chip damage for my side, and that his special defense is now at 1.5. So I have to probably go for more physical attacks. So I'm tempted to bring in Vileplume because I know, I'm not too sure if Reuniclus underspeeds Hatterini. So that's my concern right now. And then if I brought in Dragapult, I'm pretty sure Hatterini would go for a Dazzling Gleam, not pick up the KO, but do a decent damage. So I guess, what does his team have again? His team had Torkoal, right? So I think Vileplume is the best choice right now. Alternatively, I could Dynamax. Yeah, I could Dynamax. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to Dynamax the Vileplume, go for Max Overgrowth onto the Rhyperior, and then in the meantime, I know Psychic isn't going to do much anyway, but okay, actually, that's not necessarily a good idea. So, see, this is pretty tricky because I can pick up the 1-hit KO onto Rhyperior and then set up the terrain the grassy terrain that heals us, right? But then, let's see. Right now, the actual threat is Hatterini, and I'm not sashed on Lumberry right now. So, this really comes down to if Reuniclus can hit down Hatterini. So what I'm going to do is go for the Max Overgrowth onto Rhyperior and then Psychic onto Hatterini. Because right now, Hatterini may go first, and if it does, it's going to pick up some damage. But if for some reason Hatterini is like Life Orb or a damage modifier, then it will be picking up a 1-hit KO onto Vileplume. So ideally, by Dynamaxing Vileplume, I'll survive a little bit longer, and I know Rhyperior will also go first, so they can definitely pick up the 1-hit KO to Vileplume. It's just a matter of what Reuniclus can bring to the table. So yeah, Hatterini does go first, which is really bad. Leaves us at 44 HP. We get a special defense debuff, which is really bad. Reuniclus goes for the Psychic. Does it pick up the KO? Yes, okay. So in hindsight, I probably could have just protected and then moved on. I could have max guarded. So now he's going to go for Max Quake onto the Reuniclus. Okay, this isn't that bad. I mean, what am I talking about? This is pretty bad because Trick Room's still up, right? But yeah, I could have protected and then definitely, attack the next turn. But here goes the Max Overgrowth. Does it pick up the KO? No, it doesn't. Okay, this is actually really bad. But okay. So keep in mind that Solar Beam actually has a base 180 under Sun. So that being said, it has 120 when, and that's the weakness policy, right? That is the weakness policy. We are in trouble. Okay. And I don't have any priority moves either, so we're in trouble. So yeah, that's sand damage and then grassy terrain. So yeah, I could have protected, have more viability, and then probably done something. But yeah, it just also proves how strong Reuniclus is, because Hatterini is very specially defensive and it's Psychic type, and we were still able to do a lot. And I'm pretty sure Torkoal is going to go pick up the clean KO with a Eruption. Possibly the best thing I can do. I don't have many answers. Although, he just set up the Drought, so I have the Chlorophyll boost, and we have just 2 turns of Trick Room. If I could only double protect, right? These are his last 2 Pokemon, so I'm going to Max Guard, protect the Vileplume this turn. Okay. This has to be the weirdest set you guys probably have seen before on a Dragon Ball. Has disabled Dragon Rush U-turn, Phantom Force. I think I'm going to Phantom Force the Rhyperior. I want to get rid of Torkoal so badly, but I should also focus on the Rhyperior. So I'm just gonna lock into Phantom Force. So Vileplume goes for Max Guard. Eruption comes out, so I get protected. This is gonna deal a lot of damage to Dragapult, probably picking up the KO. No, okay, he's not modified, as in he does have Specs or Life Orb. And then Rockfall onto the Dragapult, right? That's the best play. And so what happens is I also lose Dynamax this turn, so I don't have an alternative method to protect myself. That being said, the only option I have is, after you as a status move, so I can't necessarily do anything. Plus, the sand is still up just because of the max rockfall that he just did. So technically, while I had the ability to underspeed, by me losing Dynamax, I don't have any protective or defensive methods of surviving. That being said, so my opponent will be taking the game. I think that's very... Wait a minute. Wait, I do have one more turn of Dynamax. Hold on. This is different. Okay. So ideally what happens is I would double protect, but since the sandstorm is still up, it's not going to make me... I'm going to be too... I'm too fast right now, and then if I double protected, I still wouldn't be able to do anything. But yeah, let's just see if we can get the double protect. Not that it matters. I'm pretty sure my opponent takes the game. But yeah, I just want to see. Oh wait, so I did get the double protect. I think that's pretty interesting. So he goes for the eruption. He goes for a fire punch, which is pretty cool considering how Rapier now gets the punch moves. It always had, but now punch moves are TMs in this game, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, chip damage. Not gonna KO me. Torkoal and Rapier do get healed up by the grassy terrain. I believe I do so myself. We're all grounded Pokemon. Okay, Trick Room is over, and my Dynamax is over. Okay. So yeah, I can't Solar Beam here. Sludge Bomb wouldn't necessarily pick up the one hit KO. It won't KO. I doubt Pollen Puff is going to do some damage, but I'm curious, because in the situation, I can learn how much Pollen Puff actually does here. So it's neutral damage attack at red, and it does not, because remember, the Sandstorm is up, so the special defense is up. And yeah, my opponent will be taking the game. So good game, Virgo. So yeah, just a quick demonstration of how my capture card works and such. This was just 12 minutes. Okay, nice. So great game, Virgo, and